Once again, a very big welcome to this particular platform. A very happy Workers' Day to each and every person I'm here right here on this particular platform. Now, for the past 3 days, one thing which has been going on in the opposition, the National Democratic Congress, is this particular news about the flag bearership. Yatiti same bebre, so Mahama be choosing the flag bearer. We don't know the actual name, the person that John Dramani Mahama is actually going to choose. But before then, we've had a lot of names and lots of people coming out. Who say yes, Sami Jemfi, people from the NDC, people from even this particular current government, MPP. Everybody is making a projection. Who is Mahama going to choose? Because right now the focus is not just on the president. For the president, the NDC and Ghanaians believe his match is John Dramani Mahama in an equal measure. But for the vice president, they want somebody who can match up the book wisdom of the vice president of Ghana, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. There is economic figures and his economic brownness. I mean, they want somebody who can match him in equal measure. And says, Ama NDC for Amako into a meeting now for the past months, all that they are thinking about is not how to win the elections, because they believe that 2020 they are one touch. They want to know who can actually match the vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, in an equal measure. The whole thing is one of their biggest priorities on their scale of preference right now. Now, Nipa and Ankophobia Mudinye PP right now, media, if you've been listening to me from last year coming to this year, Abraham Moko race no winning, and I was saying the person I believe who is going to emerge tall as the flag bearer, as the running mate for a year, John Dramani Mahama, Obaba, Zanetor Rawlings, but say a DMB according to what we are getting, they said Mahama actually said he's not going to choose his running mate himself, so he went into deliberation with his team and especially the founder of the National Democratic Congress, talking about our own John Rawlings. Said they need somebody that will be an interest, and I said who everybody will say, so okay, let's settle on this person. So in as much as Mahama had somebody in mind, the people who also had a say in this particular choosing of the running mates for John Dramani Mahama was the founder of the political party, John Rawlings, and other people, I mean, everybody in that particular National Democratic Party or more position, they all had an equal say in it, so they can settle on somebody at the end of the day. Victory will be guaranteed for them in this particular 2020 elections. Now, before you even go on and mention the names and answer the short list names are here, one thing we need to know is that according to an insider report, they are saying the person or mobile settle or no, in one person is definitely going to be the running mate, and I'm going to tell you who I think is going to be the running mate. But then, according to an insider report, they are saying John Rawlings actually is saying since Mahama is from the northern part of Ghana, it would be right for them as a political party to take somebody from the southern parts of Ghana. So the southern parts of Ghana could be the central region. The southern parts of Ghana could be Greater Accra. The southern parts of Ghana, particularly in the most important, will be the Ashanti region. Now, this, according to John Rawlings, is to garnish the support of all the nations so that they can take back the seat from this particular MPP administration. According to John Rawlings, they are saying since he is going to throw his support for the National Democratic Congress, he is going to assure the NDC of more votes, and now more votes coming from the voter region. So there's no need for them to go for but they need somebody from the Ashanti region, because if they're able to even get 10% of the Ashanti votes, I'm telling you, NDC will win hands down. I just say this is the main and that's the prime motive of this particular political party. Now on your screens, we are going to mention the name. So as you can see Mahama on your far left with his picture. He is the current the front runner for the National Democratic Congress, and that's the presidential candidate. And on your far right too, on the top, you can see a lot of names. Let me start with the first person we have here on our list, Zanetor Rawlings. Now, this particular woman is the MP for Korle Klottey, and as I've said earlier on this particular platform, within this particular time of coronavirus, she's been in the news for many reasons. One, for nsɛm bi ɔbaa out ɔbɛka sɛ aduane na NPP for chiche no sisi an politicizing no. So if you are not an NDC member, you will not stand to get the food to eat. You will not stand to get the food to eat simply because you are NDC. So she came out and said, no, if this is going on in this country in terms of crisis, we need to solve, we need to help both parties, and we are just concentrating on just a single fraction of people on mere MPP then is bad. So also then also and we saw what happened at the end of the day. She was in the news for a lot of time. People actually applauded her, and some people too actually says that this is cheap propaganda. At the same time too, it has garnished her image in that particular the NDC the National Democratic Congress, and even it has given her some sort of recognition in the new patriotic party. I wish everybody is looking at her as a potential threat for Bawumia, but as to whether she can match Bawumia in an equal measure in terms of politics, in terms of economics, in terms of fiscal policies, monetary evaluations, and how to run the economy, we don't know. But she is the first person, our own John Dramani Mahama is considering as a running mate for his 2020 elections. Now, the second person we have on our list is Dr. Dufour. Now, Dr. Dufour, we all know Dr. Dufour to be Dr. Kwamina Dufour, who is the former Minister of Finance in the late Mills administration, and also the former Governor of the Bank of Ghana. And people are saying, I think he's also the owner, and also the owner of the collapsed bank, and also the merged bank, Unibank. We don't know how far that bank thing has gone. But then people are saying that Dr. Kwamina Dufour, during his era, during his time, the former Mills administration, he was one person who was able to push Ghana in the right direction, because people are saying right from Kufuor's administration, the economy was not that strong. But Mills administration mobile into place now a year Dr. Kwamina Dufour as the governor of the Bank of Ghana. They believe that the economy was better, and that was when NDC had the best figures in terms of economy. So they believe that this man can match Dr. Bawumia in an equal measure because of his age, because of his experience, because of his knowledge, and because of what he's done. He already has a name in the National Democratic Congress already. So there's no need for them to even look otherwise. They are actually concentrating, and as they are actually considering on settling him as the presidential, the running mate for the presidential candidate, John Dramani Mahama. So Dr. Kwamina Dufour is one person among four. We are hoping, and per the list out, he will be considered as the running mate for John Dramani Mahama. Now the third person on our list, the former Deputy Minister of Finance and Member of Parliament for Ejumaku Enyam Esiam, whose name is Castle Atto-Forson. Now, according to many sources, no more say Dr. Atto-Forson, and as my friend in a simple, Mr. Atto-Forson, they are saying that he's seriously being considered. He's seriously being considered, not because of his book knowledge and as his experience and his support in the party, but then he is being considered because primarily he is from the central region. You remember, once NDC almost stronghold in 2 regions. NDC stronghold two regions, the central region of Ghana and also the Volta region of Ghana. They are kind of 50-50, all the other regions 50-50. Sasuna MPP is almost stronghold in the Ashanti and the Eastern. So people are trying to, they don't want to, play with hens and chicken. They don't want to lay their eggs in baskets. I said at the end of the day, never pie. People want to play safe. So rather than you going to do things they will concentrate on the regions. A bit some votes. So at the other ones, at least about 40-50, and also 30%. Now MPP 40-70%. At least there can be a runoff at the end of the day. They are believing they are going to win the election. So they are seriously considering this particular Castle Atto-Forson, the former Deputy Minister of Finance and Member of Parliament for Ejumaku Enyam Esiam. They are considering mainly because he is from the central region of Ghana. And as I was saying earlier on, as I'm another subject, we saw the Mills administration, our own Atta Mills, when he died, some supports the central region of Ghana and it's faded away. Sasun and then nipa or be Ghanaians or be revive or be rekindle that particular support in the central region. Now or no nipa no so was our own the former vice president Onyani baby Ekoye Emisa Atta. emisata onya ne baby koye ono so na obega na hye ade no na nyankopon so it was a very sad, so we all know what happened. And also one day Gym Abasa, he was even in the gym of collapse here, didn't go hospital, he's dead. He died. And so because of that, Sama, the support was Central Region with what Alote Jacobs have been going on saying, say, hey, I say if Central Region here don't matter to our side, no, they want somebody that they can garnish and revive that support because frankly speaking, many fanatics believe say this is propaganda. I say obi obe rise akọ a level bia e NDC political party be yini fi ho, and I say somehow strangely the person dies. If you look at males, I'm not insinuating anything, but these are the proportions of people which to me are somehow baseless. But Osha Mills send out kind of us we say it was so strange. Osha a year our own former vice president Misata, it was so strange. So they want somebody who can revive or rekindle that particular support in the Central Region. That person that they are seriously considering is Castle Top Forces. So this is currently what we have as to who Mahama is going to settle on. We do not know, but then we want people to understand clearly. Said there's another person in the picture. Nipa or picture but then these three people are it's in our share on the screens on your far right and down. Now if we have there unknown, yes, unknown, we don't know that person, so it can be any of these three people. Dr. Kwamna Dufour, a year Castle Atu Forcing and Zanetor Rawlings. Okay, but it can be any of these three people, but at the same time, so it cannot be any of them. It's an idea to unknown because Mahama can change his mind last minute, and at the end of the day, say tabulations near there. At the end of the day, they'll come out to say, hey, we are not settling on any of these three people. One thing so I can say, Mahama does not want a situation the person obey you so as the running mate will come back 2024 and come and contest him. You see, in every game there's a win or lose. And NDC knows very well, say 2024, in as much as they can win, there's a probabilities that they can lose. So when they lose, Mahama Osheni looks Nema Oyena, it tells you say he's not ready to give up. Says no, he doesn't really have anything to concentrate on. He doesn't have anything. He really wants to become the president of Ghana, and that is his mandate. So based on this, no, there's a probability say in 2024 he will still come back for the throne. But whoever will be the vice president, no, that person no muluso, that person bit matin say since Mahama has lost on 2 counts, no, or no as a presidential candidate, that person can come back. So Mahama is looking at the person or bit having an influence over the person at least in 2024. Almost another election. Sebio NDC that way, no, Mahama Kasa or Kobima, the person can still pay allegiance to him. So okay, I'm going to still be the running mate for John Dramani Mahama. On Pobia, the person or the person has that energy ball in him. At the end of the day, the person also like to come and contest as the presidential candidate. If that happens, the person will win. Because one, and Mahama may lose 2 times. Nipa no be bano in 2024 if NDC should not win this particular. The person, his face has already been on ballot basis, and the person has gained the popularity already. So there's the high probability say the person and the running mate for Mahama, if that person should consider going for a presidential bid for NDC and also on the ticket of NDC, the person is going to win. What I say, but we don't know how all of this thing will play. As somebody can 2024 can be the decipher. 2022 can be the decipher. We don't know what will happen, whether NDC will win or they will lose. But then sometimes there's always 2 sides of the coin. Whatever happens, it's either a win or lose affair. Now moving on, so one thing that we know is there are people in Mahama's administration who are also they don't like him contesting. But as to how all of these things will go, and we live to see. Let's pray and let's see. So at the end of the day, he'll come out and make an announcement. It will go well to help the NDC themselves. I believe say MPP too, they are buckling up at the end of the day. No, they are ready to face NDC in equal measure. We'll give you more updates based on whatever happened right here regarding this issue.